Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Another episode of Let There Be Talk. Before we get started, I just want to say thanks to all the new listeners that have tuned in. I've been getting your emails. Very cool. All you new people out there from All Things Comedy who found me through there. That's right, I am on All Things Comedy. If you're just tuning in, allthingscomedy.com. It's the network I'm on now. Pretty proud to be on there. So welcome, all you new listeners. And if you are a new listener, or if you are an old listener, if you're an old listener, you know I'm into motorcycles. I fucking love motorcycles. Been riding all my life. And I'm just a motorcycle junkie. Are you, or do you ride? I don't know. I don't know who listens to me out there. Some of you email and say, hey, I get an idea who you are. But I don't know. It's just a way of life. I think if you like bikes, as cheesy as that sounds, like it's a way of life. It's true, though, man. You get on two wheels and you just fucking get addicted. I've been riding all my life, and my guest today has been riding all his life for sure. My guest is Roland Sands today. I'm fired up about this. He's a motorcycle builder, rider. He owns his own company, Roland Sands Design. Some of the finest motorcycles to be made in America. This guy makes them. I love him, man. He's not only is he a great builder and rider, but he's a great guy, man. I've known him for about, 13 years or something. And he's been nothing but cool to me. And we sat down and talked about his new company. It's not new really, but he's in a new building that's really cool. I went over there. If you're in LA, go visit his new shop. He's there every day. Fucking building, riding, burning out, wheelies, whatever. The guy fucking does it. It's crazy. He's got a great website, rolandsands.com, with cool videos. And you can check out all his bikes. He makes great clothes. I wear one of his jackets. I love his leather jackets. They're fucking cool looking. Yeah, great guy, man. Real deal. Motorcycles. Excuse me, his whole life. So that's cool. Even if you're not into motorcycles, I always try to hope that if you're not into something and you still like the show though, because the person is so interesting. That's what I'm hoping for. I bring people that you would know who they are. I bring them into your life, and you get a little knowledge on something maybe you don't know anything about. So that's kind of cool. I hope. I don't know. I'm fucking being stupid. Anyway, sit back and listen to it. I really like this episode. It's fun. And, blah, 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 blah. That's my best impression of the guitar player from Rush, except in his Rock and Roll Hall of Fame intro. Did you ever see that? Blah, 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 blah. Here we go. My good friend Roland Sands. And one last thing. If you want to donate to the podcast, hit me at deandelray@yahoo.com, or just email and say, hey, how are you? Let me know you like the show. A lot of you do email and you request guests, and I read them all, and I listen to them all. I listen to all your emails, man. Right on, dude. Cool. Anyway, here it is. Roland Sands. Yeah. All right, here we are. Another episode of Let There Be Talk. Got a great guest today. My friend Roland Sands. How are you, buddy?
Doing good, man.
Yeah. Okay, a lot of people are like, who's Roland Sands? Because I usually have like rock stars on or movie stars. But you're a motorcycle star, I think.
Thank you.
You are. You've been in motorcycles all your life, like since you're a kid. If anybody knows anything, they listen to my show, they know I ride. I've had guys on like Alonzo Bowden, comedian, he rides. I had Jay on, Rockabilly Jay. And I love motorcycles. I think it's a certain type of person, right?
Yeah, motorcycles, it just kind of gets in your skin and something you it becomes part of your life. It really does get under there, and like, you just itch to go ride and itch to work on your bike and just kind of be at peace with motorcycles. I don't know.
It's right. Like motorcycles have been in your family all your life. Your dad started Performance Machine, right?
Yeah.
What year was that?
My dad started PM in like 1970, and I was born like 4 years later. So I really got brought up, in the shop and spent a lot of time in a machine shop and around motorcycles and at racetracks. I spent a lot of my younger years at motorcycle races and drag boat races, MotoGPs. I mean, I can remember going to the races at Laguna Seca and seeing like Kenny and Eddie and all those guys racing.
Kenny Roberts?
Yeah.
Now, did you go to MotoGP this weekend?
I didn't make it to MotoGP this weekend because there was waves. So I was surfing this weekend.
Oh, you surf now?
Yeah.
When'd you start surfing?
I've surfed a long time.
And where do you ride at?
Surfing Huntington and Surfside, Sunset Beach.
Right.
Kind of up and down the coast a little bit at Newport, kind of South Orange County.
So you blow MotoGP off for surfing. That's a different Roland, right?
I did, dude, yeah. and then the weekend ended up being like really overcast and kind of shitty, but
yeah, it was shitty out.
Yeah.
Now the main reason I want to have you on, a lot of people like if they go like, oh, motorcycles, why is he on? But the cool thing about you is you're like old school. You create things with your hands, which is really weird to me. Like to me, I create jokes or I write songs. It's old school, right? It's like you fabricate shit for your motorcycle. You can make a motorcycle.
Yeah, I mean, I started out building building race bikes. When I was racing, I had to fabricate and build my own race bikes. So I kind of learned a lot about just making things right. Back in the days, building race bikes, and just kind of brought that into what I do today, which is customization. More so customization. And these days I don't really get to work on motorcycles like I used to.
Right.
Like now I'm like way more like on the business side of things, and it sucks because I have to like literally stop and go, I'm not going to do business stuff today. I'm going to go down and work on a motorcycle. So
yeah, I'm at your shop now. Here. Yeah. And it's like, you got a brand new shop. And I said, whoa, you're an adult. Right? Like we're in your office. It looks like a cool guy's office, but once you got an office, it's your name on there, right?
Yeah, my name's on the door, so I'm focused on not just building motorcycles, but keeping the doors open,
Right.
Yeah.
Now, if people don't know, Performance Machine makes custom stuff for Harleys and stuff for years, and you were working there, and then you broke off. I remember you had the shop next to Performance Machine. Which was Roland Sands. Then when did you move here? You're in a new place. I'm in some town I've never even been in LA. What is this?
Yeah, this is Los Alamitos. So
like, what is this town?
This is like the little nook in between Long Beach and Orange County.
I've never seen this town ever.
Yeah, it's small, but it's pretty tight. It's a cool little town.
Now, what made you pick here? Do you live around here?
I live like 8 miles away.
Right.
So it's a really quick drive. It's like right at one exit off the 405 freeway, off the 605. So it's super close to my house, and we got a really nice space here with a nice showroom up in front, big office space up above, and then a nice fabrication area in the back. So
how many people work here? I see a bunch of people working here.
It's like 13 of us.
Wow.
Yeah.
13? What do they all do?
We do a lot of stuff. We design a whole line of apparel, leather jackets, big line of leather jackets, soft goods, sweaters, hoodies, tees, all that, leather wallets, things like that. Then we do a whole group of motorcycle hard parts too, predominantly for Harley Davidsons, but we make a lot of custom parts as well. And that's everything from motorcycle wheels to air cleaners, handlebars, clip-ons, seats, exhaust systems, like really across the board. And then there's a whole group of us that, build motorcycles and build custom bikes. So we do a lot of different stuff.
Yeah, I got a leather jacket from you. I love it. The thing I love about it is I usually buy my clothes in Japan. You've been to Japan.
I have been to Japan.
Japan has the coolest clothes. Yeah. And people don't understand that stuff fits great. It looks cool. And it's always something that you go like, God, I wish they still made that. And your jackets, as soon as I saw them, I was like, man, Roland nailed it. Like, I love them. They fit great. They look great. They look old school. They're not all like Harley man, you know?
Yeah, that was definitely the goal, is to build something that was like timeless and like something you would enjoy wearing, but it has like these little details that you keep noticing as you wear the piece. The piece kind of gets old with you.
Right.
You know, it ages, but when it ages, it looks better the older it gets. And,
well, they fit great too. Like, I mean, like, I'm fat, so if you have like, it's true. If you have tight stuff, it looks a little better. And I think
you're healthy, man. You're just like, you know.
Yeah. I mean, how old are you? You look great still.
38 now. Yeah.
38.
Yeah.
You look like you're 24.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
And then you're in shape.
I stopped drinking as much.
Oh, as much. I don't drink at all. It's not that. It's candy. Candy's my demon.
Really?
Yeah, like candy, sweets. Because if you quit,
Snickers?
No, gummy bears, Swedish fish.
Oh yeah, the non-chocolate variety, like the sweet tarts and stuff like that.
That's it, man. Because if you quit drinking, your body craves sugar.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But like I said, the clothing, the jackets, and some people are like, what are you talking about? But if you put on like a Harley Davidson jacket at a store, they're made for like 3 people, because they got to cover the whole gamut, you know, the body styles.
Yeah.
So they're all boxy. They look goofy on you. They blow up when you're riding 90, you know, they turn into a parachute. But these jackets are fucking great, and that kind of shit's hard to find unless you're going to go to like Langlet's or guys like that can custom fit you.
Yeah, we really tried to build a jacket for someone who's riding a motorcycle. So, you know, the sleeves are pre-curved, and they're really built for someone who's sitting on a motorcycle, not for someone who's standing at a bar. But at the same time, you can stand at a bar and you don't look like you just got off a spaceship.
That's right, because I wear it at a comedy club, and I don't want to look like, here comes the biker.
Here's the biker guy. You know, you go in and you got your logos and everything. So, I mean, we kept everything really simple. It's just like a simple logo on the sleeve, you know, like really subdued, like tonal color tone logos, and everything's simple, man. So I'd rather like build something that people want to ask, where did you get that? Because if my name's printed across the chest, there's no need to ask.
Yeah, and that makes it go out quick, right?
You know, like, I mean, oh yeah, that's another one of those jackets.
Yeah, exactly. You know? Like Ed Hardy. You know,
that's not a good
that
thing.
kind of shit.
Yeah.
Now, what got you into riding? Of course, your dad, his shop and stuff, but were you into Evel Knievel and stuff like that when you were young?
I was into everything, man, because I got a chance to go see so much of the motorcycle space. From like, I used to go to drag racing, so it was like watching Elmer Trett ride, you know, and watching like all these really old school guys riding and racing these humongous drag bikes. Russ Collins and his like twin turbocharged, blown Honda, like, just gnarly stuff, you know. And I'd go to the flat track races, and I got a chance to like meet a lot of these guys, you know, Chris Carr and Scott Parker, Bubba Schobert, you know, guys who were also road racing at the same time. So I was getting to go see crazy road racing at Laguna Seca, and even like out at Riverside. Yeah, you know, when Riverside Raceway was still out there, and you know, just got a chance to see a little bit of it all. And I was just in love with motorcycles since I can remember. Always wanted to race and always wanted to build stuff. So so your first bike was an RM50? Yeah.
What year was that? My first was an RM80, and it was because I loved Roger DeCoster, you know?
Yeah.
And I was not down with Bob Hanna at all, and I didn't like him.
See, Bob Hanna was my dude.
Really? See?
I love Bob Hanna.
Wow. Yeah. I didn't like him because I was so into like Suzuki, and you know, I'm talking 78, I think, steel tank still. Yeah. Not the plastic tank.
Yeah.
And I remember I had an RM80. I went to Sears Point. I watched the Trans Am Supercross, you know, outdoor back then, the old stuff.
Yeah.
And it was Bob Hanna against Roger DeCoster. And Roger DeCoster was just German, or, you know, or Austrian or something. I forget where he's from. And he was just sick, you know. And I was like, that's the guy for me. Yeah. But what you got into from Bob Hanna?
I got into Bob Hanna
because I was going
to Supercross. I know. I had the RM80. Or RM50.
RM50, sorry.
Yeah. My dad got it for me when I was a kid, and you know, I was just stoked to have a dirt bike, and it was yellow, so I was like, you know, let's go Bob Hanna. Woo!
Yeah.
You know, jumping down the peristyle at like was it the Coliseum?
Oh, yeah.
Supercross to the Coliseum.
Oh, the one where they went out of the fucking stadium and back in.
Yeah, you just sky off of that big like cliff in the back. It was incredible.
So sick.
Yeah.
I got it, you know, I started racing, but I think the thing with me is, and I noticed with you, is I wasn't crazy. Like you broke. I read like you broke a bone or something your first ride. And to me, I never wanted to break anything because I raced BMX and I got fucking hurt a lot.
Yeah, I never really wanted to get hurt. It wasn't a conscious decision. It was just a byproduct of like trying to go fast.
Yeah.
You know, and like at the time, I guess like it was more important to me to like figure out how to ride a motorcycle fast than it was to keep my body safe.
Yeah. I mean, to go fast, you got to crash.
You just eventually do.
You do. Yeah.
You do, yeah. The best of the best crash, you know, it's just, you got to go out there and try because you got to crash to learn.
Right.
And then you mark that one down and say, okay, I'm going to try not to do that one again, but eventually you do.
It's kind of like bombing on stage doing comedy, but with no health bills. Right. That's the thing right now. Like, I got no health insurance, you know?
Yeah.
So if I go down, I'm done. But I cannot ride. Like, I can't imagine not riding. I don't own a car. I haven't had a car in 12 years.
Wow.
And, yeah, I ride everywhere to do comedy. I love it. I think it's just like surfing or whatever. It's you and the thing, you know, like you and the wave or me and the bike, whatever.
You know, it just feels good, man. Being out on the road, being out on two wheels. I mean, it feels amazing. I have mad respect for you for riding every day and not having a car, though.
Yeah, I haven't had a car.
I mean, in the rain, in the cold, in the weather,
Yeah.
you know, sometimes it's a bitch. You don't want to be on two wheels, you know?
Oh, it's true.
Yeah.
Especially when you're riding to San Diego to do 15 minutes for $5. But you got to do it. You want to get somewhere, you know? So you do it, and you're like, how fucking cold is it now? Like,
Yeah.
it didn't used to get cold like this 10 years ago. You know, it gets cold now, man.
Yeah, dude, for sure.
I got heated grips, and I'll put them on 10. They don't feel like nothing.
Do you got the heated seat and all that?
I got the heated
You
seat.
heat your ass up and you get the warm hands.
Yeah.
It's like riding a snowmobile.
You got to have that shit, though,
Yeah.
man, now.
Oh, man, you're freezing your ass
I
off.
love when people go, heated grips. What, you live in California. And it's like, yeah, dude, but I ride. You
Yeah.
only ride on Sunday to the rock store.
Yeah.
You know, when it's like 80 out. And if it's 75, you won't ride. It's too cold.
You know, I got a real dose of that like 4 months ago, we were in Lake Como, and we ended up riding up to the Alps, to St. Moritz.
I saw some pictures
Yeah.
of that. What were you riding?
I was on a
Was it a Beamer?
BMW, yeah.
Yeah, the new one?
We had
Oh, no, you had the
we had
S1000.
we had two 1600s. No, that was a different trip.
Okay.
But this one we actually rode to the Alps, and I was on a GL 1200.
Right?
I forget which one it was. It was the big air-cooled twin touring bike, BMW touring bike.
Oh, the RT or something?
RT.
RT 1200.
That's what it was. RT
I know what that is.
1200.
Yeah.
And first time I'd ever really ridden a touring
Pretty good bike, right?
It's an incredible bike.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe how much fun it was to ride. And then being up there, you know, it started snowing. We're riding through the snow, and there's
Yeah.
like ice and ice rivers, and the weather's crazy. And I'm just like, heated grips, heated seat.
Yeah.
You know, my
Electronic
kicks on the back.
shield.
Oh, yeah, with electronic shield.
Yeah.
And I'm just like cruising, so happy, you know?
Yeah, last year I had the GTL 1600. That's a 6-cylinder.
Yeah.
It's the Beamer 3 Series motor in a motorcycle.
That thing sounds like a Ferrari.
Yep.
You're riding it. It's just such
It goes,
a beautiful
you're so right. It goes,
sound, yeah.
Woo! You know, it's got like
Yeah.
that old Ferrari. But I remember I took it to Yosemite the first day I bought it. And I just was, I got to this one road. It's like the 152. There's no one on it. I just opened it up, doing like 140. Like, I don't go faster than that, man. I know one animal comes out, I'm done. But 140, just one-handed with the shield up, tunes going. I was like, oh, shit, I'm flying, you know?
It doesn't even feel like it.
It doesn't, nope.
Yeah.
And it's probably the best machine. But one problem with that machine is it gets boring after a while. Like those, like touring bikes, I've gone through touring bikes in my life, and you love them, but then you're like, you get bored, and you need some gnarly like chopper or something.
That's why, you know, you have different bikes in your quiver, you know?
You're right.
You ride something and you like ride it, and then you're like, you know, like lately I've been riding a little Triumph Scrambler around.
Oh yeah,
You know?
How do you like that?
I love it because it's not too fast. You know, it like is something that you can go out and ride and have fun on. If you want to wheelie it, you can, but you got to put a little bit of effort into it.
Right.
You know, and it'll slide a little bit, and you can mess with
Front
it.
brake doesn't seem to work at all on it.
Nah, they don't. I mean, they're not like a great a great functioning motorcycle, like, you know, compared to a sport bike or compared to like a really good dual purpose bike. But at the same time, it kind of does everything okay.
Yeah.
And that's good for the street.
I think it's better than a Sportster.
Way better than a Sportster.
I think so, yeah. A lot of people buy the Sportster, and I'm like, you got to buy the Triumph Scrambler. My buddy tricked his out. It looks great.
They're bitching, yeah.
Yeah, he's got the matte green one, and it looks fantastic. What's your favorite bike?
Oh, that's a big question.
It's tough, right? You can't pick one bike.
I mean, if I had to pick one bike, I think the bike you're on today.
Oh, the Multistrada.
I mean, the Multistradas, you know, you can ride it off-road if you got to. It's not the best bike off-road, but it's comfortable for touring, and it is fast as hell, and it rips on a race. On a racetrack, you can go really well on one.
I mean, I saw a guy smoking dudes on it. Yeah. He's just passing guys on 11.9/8 on the outside, like, nah. It's an old man sport bike.
It is. I got a chance to actually ride one on a racetrack out at Miller Motorsports Park with Greg Tracy. Mm-hmm. And he's the guy, he won Pikes Peak on that thing.
Yeah, and that guy is radical.
He's radical. And I was on an 1198S.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know, I'm riding it fairly hard. And I look behind me, and Greg's behind me on this thing, on the Multistrada. And I'm like, dude, I'm going to lay down some laps. You know, fuck this. I'm getting away from Greg. And, like, tried to lay it down, and I look back, and he's right there. And I'm just like, oh, you know.
That bike is phenomenal. And the way he rides it. If you haven't seen Pikes Peak, just Google Pikes Peak and Ducati Multistrada and watch his runs. They paved it all this year. It was different.
Yeah, it's a little bit different this year, which, you know, I probably isn't as well. It's better for the multi, actually.
Right.
I think. Yeah.
What have you seen Pikes Peak? Have you ever gone to that?
I've never been up there.
Yeah.
I've been, like, now that I'm like it's fully paved, I'm kind of like I want to go ride it now.
Yeah. Yeah, because before you get halfway up and it'd be dirt.
Yeah. I guess somebody just broke the record on an electric bike.
Yeah, he did. That guy that had the electric bike. It looks like the Beamer HP, you know, but it's electric. I'm curious to see that bike, you know, and where electric technology goes. Are you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, electric stuff. Once the batteries are, you know, easily rechargeable and big enough, and you can actually ride 300 miles on it, and then you can charge it in 4 or 5 hours, like, that becomes like something that makes sense, you know?
Exactly.
I mean, having an electric touring bike would be crazy, right?
That'd be great.
Yeah.
I would have an electric bike right now. The problem is they, like Zero and these companies, the components on them and everything's just kind of junk.
Yeah, some of them are like more like bicycles with electric motors.
You're right. They're just not happening. Now, the one that really excites me is the KTM kind of electric bike.
Yeah. That's
like an enduro looking, maybe hyper motard kind of bike. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I did see that thing. It's actually, it looks like it's highly functional. It's got.
I would ride the shit out of that around Hollywood. Just road warrior, just you know, going off curbs, everything. Yeah. The only problem is they don't make any sound. So that's kind of freaky.
You got to put cards in the spokes.
Yeah, you do got to put cards in the spokes. Yeah. And do they engine brake? How does that? Because you don't downshift them. It's on and off.
Engine braking.
I don't get it.
I think that they actually have a regenerative braking setup where you can maybe set up or set it up so it feels like engine braking, and then it recharges the battery.
Right. Oh, that's right.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that are interesting about that bike. I mean, going out and riding one hard and having no noise with the engine is weird. They just kind of hum.
Yeah. That's weird, right? What about Harley? You think Harley's dead? I just bought another one today or last week. I'm back on it, but I was off it for a while. You had the big TV era of like biker build off, and you were on a lot of those, and it got good in some ways because it exposed guys like you and stuff, but then it got bad in other ways where everybody was like a chopper builder and shit was just breaking.
Yeah, I mean, that era is obviously like gone now.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's a good thing because a lot of people who are into motorcycles and not just into Harleys now are doing their thing, and they're getting some exposure, and I think that shows more of the width or the birth of really the motorcycle culture, you know, like more in a genuine sense than like OCC choppers or, you know, even West Coast or whatever it was back then. You know, it's the motorcycle culture it's intelligent, it's interesting. There's people that are really passionate. There's a lot of artists involved, you know. So the motorcycle culture, I think, as it grows, and it's going to have a better and stronger outreach. That's not like a WWF TV show.
That's right.
You know, and that's going to really show people more what motorcycling is about, and I think attract more people in the end.
And also, like, Sons of Anarchy kind of made it, you know, I think a problem with people just think they just throw on a vest and they're like a badass all of a sudden, and they don't understand the real underbelly of what's going on, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's people who are, you know, kind of living up to the Sons of Anarchy setup. I mean, you know, soon enough, I guess you'll meet the right or the wrong person and you'll find out what it's really about. But hopefully that doesn't happen to many people, because that would not be a fun situation.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they don't understand that shit's real.
Yeah.
You know, they buy a Dyna, they black it out, they throw a vest on, and it's like Willie's Boys, you know, I mean, Oklahoma.
It's kind of like, you know, you walk into the wrong place, it'd be like, you know, wearing some gangster suit and walking into the club of like some gangster and being like, hey, I'm here to play. And it's like, you know,
we don't play.
They don't play, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
But hey, at the same time, you know, it's getting people involved in motorcycles. And if they're just like loving the style of that, you know,
I'm down with that.
I mean, the SOA style, you know, it's an interesting style. There's a lot of guys who are actually like building really fun motorcycles with that style.
Yep. I love them.
Yeah, I mean, like high bar bikes and like...
Yeah, it's my favorite.
You know, they're out doing wheelies and stand-up burnouts and like having fun on Harleys. I totally am with that. That's cool.
I like that kind of shit. Gangster, you know?
Yeah.
I like the dudes that get involved that ride.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
And then there's the guys that just build their bike exact to TV, and then they don't even fucking ride. You know, they throw on some sunglasses and park down on Sunset and just like, yeah. But yeah, the guys that do build those bikes right are radical, right? Like, man, they get like Jim's has got like a 131 motor now. They throw it into this Dyna and they just do burnouts and wheelies, man.
It's just super fun.
It is fun, right?
That's a fun bike. I mean, they're heavy.
Yep.
You know, and like it's not like, you know, it's not like a sport bike, of course, but they have their own flavor for sure.
Yeah.
High horsepower, freaking chopped out. Fun bike, you know?
I just got one. I mean, I'm back hooked. But, you know, I went away from it for a while, and then it's like, I got to get another one of those. It's just because after the show came out, I was like, I don't want to have that bike now, you know?
Yeah.
But now it's going to fade off, and it's good to have it again.
You know, it's to each his own, man. I mean, you have the bikes that you enjoy riding. I mean, I like riding dirt bikes.
Yeah.
You know, I'd rather ride a motocross bike than probably anything else.
You ride dirt now? I
do ride dirt, yeah. And I mean, I like riding motocross because there's no cops.
Yeah.
You know?
That's a good point.
And I ride like a moron.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I love having fun riding a motorcycle. When I jump on a motorcycle, for me, it isn't about like commuting. It's more like, let's go have a good time. Let's go do some wheelies. Let's go slide around and enjoy ourselves. Like, you know, and it's not always the best thing when you do it on the street.
Yeah. How many bones you broke?
I don't know, 30 or so.
Wow.
You know, a lot of bones, a lot of broken bones.
Here's the funny thing everybody always asks me. They probably ask you, any close calls? It's like, yeah, every fucking day. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, man, you know.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what's worse for me, not riding.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. You know, you don't spend time riding, and it kind of like, you fall out of it for a little while, and you get back on the street, and you're like, oh, you got to reorientate yourself.
God, it's so weird, right? You get out there, you're like, cars are going by, you're like, whoa, fuck.
Yeah, this is dangerous.
That shit is real.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I think the longer you ride, the less
you start to ignore it, dude.
Yeah, you're like,
yeah.
Isn't that weird? I'm out there just splitting lanes at 90.
Yeah.
You know, and you're going,
is this really a good idea? You're like, I don't care.
Yeah, you just don't. You just don't. Now, so you got your shop here. And can a guy buy a bike from you? Because like for a while you were making the thing I like. I'm getting sidetracked, but the thing I like about your stuff, your parts, they don't break. They're fucking great. You bolt them on your Harley, and your bike will look incredible. They're big money, but it's for the quality.
Yeah, I mean, if you've ever worked on a Harley or wrenched on stuff or tried to put parts on a bike, you know, like when you get something, you're like, oh, I got a deal on this, and it doesn't fit. All of a sudden, that deal becomes nothing.
That's
You're
right.
Like, this is a pain in the ass, and now I got to hire someone to fab up and make shit work. I mean, for us, we spend a lot of time on engineering and testing and making sure everything fits perfectly. So when you get it, you're going to bolt it on. It's going to do exactly what we say it's going to do. And our stuff's not cheap, you know.
No, but it's great.
I don't really want to put cheap stuff on my bike because I've fallen off plenty of motorcycles and had shit break before that's made me crash, and I don't want anybody else to experience that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to trust that stuff when you're going 100. That's the thing. Like, your stuff always fits. The quality is outrageously great, and then it looks great on the bike. And if somebody has it, you know that their bike's good, you know? Some of the influences I see remind me of just 70s. Like, I love the Judge rim because it looks like a tough wheel.
Yeah.
I see your Bell Moto 3 helmet there. That was like my first helmet when I was racing BMX. Like, is a lot of your influence like from 70s stuff and you know, shit like that?
You know, I just naturally grew up around all that. You know, like, and grew up around the Southern California surf skate culture.
It's the best, right?
BMX culture and, yeah, I mean, motorcycle culture as well. I mean, motorcycles weren't cool when I was growing up.
No.
I mean, you know, from when I remember, like, I was the only guy of my circle of friends that rode motorcycles, that rode dirt bikes, that road raced, that worked on motorcycles.
Right.
Like, all my friends were surfers and skateboarders, and it was like,
Where'd you grow up? Long Beach?
Long Beach, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for me, Bad News Bears came out. That guy, Kelly Lee, had the bike. He rode a wheelie across the fucking park, and I was like, I'm in.
I'm getting that.
That's all it took me. And that was a Harley Davidson. That was a weird,
old two-stroke,
those
right?
old Enduros. Remember they had?
Maki?
I think so. Yeah. It was blue with the red print. I remember that. And then, of course, Evel Knievel.
Oh, yeah.
Now, what about Evel Knievel? Like, these X Games, you built a bike for Shaun White, right?
Yeah, we built some for him a little while back.
Right. That was a Triumph or something, right?
Scrambler.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, X Games is getting out of control. Like, where are you going to go? You know, it's at the ceiling, it seems like, right? People are dying.
Who knows, man? I mean, you know, Travis is doing was trying to do a 720.
Insane.
You know, it's insanity. I mean, when it comes to the motorcycle stuff, I mean, not that all of it isn't gnarly, but
yeah,
you know, when you're doing that stuff on a dirt bike, and those things are heavy.
Yeah, they are.
Like, it's a 250-pound, like.
Yeah, they make it look like it weighs like, you know, 75 pounds carbon fiber or something.
Yeah,
they're flicking that thing around.
If one of those things lands on you from 80 feet in the air, it's going to hurt real bad.
Yeah.
You know,
you die.
You can die.
Usually, you know.
You can die. If one of those things lands on your head, you're done, dude.
This is like a new era, man. Like, imagine Evel Knievel. He's jumped trucks back then, and now what the guys are doing, you know?
It's psycho. I mean, you watch Evil, and we grew up with Evil, so we saw him do some real crazy shit, you know, and we're like, oh, he's jumping buses, and now they're jumping buses doing backflips, and, you know, they're going so far and so big, and the equipment's better, so, you know, it allows people to push a lot harder. There's foam pits, you know, they're able to learn their tricks and not get injured doing it, you know.
Oh, yeah.
But no matter what, when you take it to dirt, I mean, it's just scary. It's scary. Watching Travis ride was scary. Watch him do a double backflip.
It's totally scary.
Yeah, it was
like it takes you gotta have bolts loose to do that.
You do, but like a guy like that, guys like that, their whole life is like about their bolts being loose.
Yeah,
essentially, they're just like
that certain
pushing, and then they're comfortable there. It's like us going out and riding a motorcycle on the street, or like splitting traffic at 90 miles an hour. To most people, that's insanity.
Yeah,
but if you do it every day, that's what you do. You're like, I do it, and now I don't really. I'm focused on not crashing, not worried about not crashing.
That's right. Your brain operates in a whole different thing. I think it happens great for me on comedy. Is your brain is constantly like sending out senses, like car up on the right, smoking weed, car on the left, loud stereo, you know, moving left and right. I mean, it's, you know.
This dude keeps looking in his mirror, you know, he's fiddling with shit. He's messing with stuff. This
you can see what's going on.
Yeah.
You know, guy getting a BJ right up there on the right. It's just like, you see it all when you're splitting lanes, right?
Yeah.
I see a guy reading a newspaper, another guy on an iPad.
They're texting, chick with big tits.
Fucking
You're
crazy.
Like, oh my God, now I'm going to crash because I'm looking next to me. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah. Yeah, you see it all, man.
You even see, like, you'll even see a chick walking down the street and you'll see someone just move over into your lane because they're, like, looking at the girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. You ever go on any long bike trips? Like I ride to Sturgis. You ever ride to Sturgis? You've rode to Sturgis, right?
Yeah, I've ridden to Sturgis like I think 4 times now.
You like riding far? Because that's my favorite thing. Like just to get my head out and go on a trip like on that Multistrada.
Yeah.
And head out to like Vancouver or something, you know?
You know, that's pretty insane, and I haven't taken a long trip in a while.
Yeah.
We did Como to St. Moritz. I mean, so that was like a 2-day trip, you know, and that wasn't too far actually.
Yeah.
But we rode kind of all around and through the Alps, and that was just super fun. But really, like to get out and get away from it all and unplug for a little while on a motorcycle, It's a really nice thing to do.
It's going to be hard to do now that you have this place, right?
It's harder. For sure, man.
It is, man. It's even when I go on trips, like I don't have a lot of money. So when I go on a trip, I start tripping on like, I got to get back and make money.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So then I wreck the trip.
And then you're like, that's the problem these days because all the cell phone reception's good.
Yeah.
And you're like in the middle of nowhere and your cell phone works.
Yep. And the guy's like, get back. We got a gig for you for $500. And you're like, oh, fuck, I got to go.
Yeah.
It's weird.
We were like, you know, you're plugged in, so you're getting emails and, you know, the asshole who wasn't paying you still isn't paying you, you're finding out something like that. Or, you know, It's just always like some new stuff, or you can like get Instagram out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it's true.
And sometimes you just want to do nothing. You don't want to be connected.
You want to be, like I was just talking downstairs. I would love to be no Facebook, no Twitter, nothing. But it just doesn't, it's not realistic if you're in an entertainment business or what you're in.
There needs to be an app for that, man, though. Like, if you have an app, it's like, you know, I'm Gone app or something. It's like,
just touch out.
You just say, my phone's not going to work from this time to this time.
Yeah, and
once you set it, you're done.
Yeah, you can't even change it.
You can't even change it.
That'd be a great app, right? Just call it like Submarine.
Yeah.
Because there ain't no signal on a submarine. You know what I mean? Like, hey, you got that new Submarine app?
Dude, you can just go analog.
Fuck yeah.
You just go
That'd
analog,
be great.
man. And only music works. That's it.
That's it. Yeah, you got to have music. What kind of music you into? It's great that we rolled into that because I have a lot of musicians on the show. What kind of music you listen to? Rock?
Man, I listen to like a little bit of everything. Like really, I mean, I don't even right now pay attention to any like particular bands or groups as much as just like throw on Pandora and just let it go.
Let it go.
Yeah.
Just more of like a soundtrack to like whatever you're doing.
Soundtrack to whatever I'm doing. Yeah. I mean, you know, sometimes like you're in the mood and you want to listen to some like, you know, some Diplo or something or just some tweaked out music, you know. Yeah. And just like when you're partying or you're hanging out or you want to be mellow and then you throw on like just some, you know, Into the Wild. You know? Yeah.
Like, the Eddie Vedder soundtrack?
Dude, the Eddie Vedder soundtrack is so good.
I love that. Oh, I'm gonna get my body. It's so good, right?
Dude, I enjoy it because it just like takes you like to another place. Even when I'm working here, I'm like, even when I'm in my own little comfortable prison here at work. Yeah. You know, I'm just like sometimes want to feel like I'm somewhere else a little bit. So.
Well, that guy was interesting, right? He did touch out.
Yeah.
He just fucking cashed in. And that film was so heavy because along the way on the journey, he really meets people that you want him to stay with. Yeah. Like the old man. Yeah. And stuff like that. And
he's Kristen Stewart.
Yeah.
You met Kristen Stewart and you're like, whoa. Buddy.
Yeah, in Salton Sea or whatever.
Yeah, you got something there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need like you'd think he'd be like, all right, I'm not going to do that trip.
Yeah, you just be like, oh, man, you know, I'm just going to hang out here for a little while. But he wanted to go, man. He wanted to go to Alaska and get lost.
I think some people just aren't wired for the world.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like if you meet guys and you go, this guy's not going to make it. As far as in it, like, you ever meet a guy and you go, that guy can't have a job?
I see guys all the time. And, like, you know, I was surfing today and I get out of the water and I see this bum on the beach, and he's got, like, all his shit with him. Yeah. You know, and he's, like, using his shit as basically, like, his backpack, and he's got all his bags, and it's, like, propped up, and it's, like, shading him. Yeah. And I walk by, and I look at him, he just, like, throws me the biggest peace sign and the biggest smile I've seen in a while come from somebody. And he wasn't doing it to, like, you know, be like, hey, I'm happy. He was just a happy dude. Yeah. You know, and I walked away, and I kind of looked back, and he's just smiling, looking at the waves.
Yeah. That's a long life, though.
Oh, man. And that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, is he this pumped? Is it just because the waves are firing today? Is he just like loving it, you know? And like, I'm at the same time, I'm jumping back in my car and going to work.
Do they got any of that, surf punks? I remember them. My beach, my wave, go home. You got any of that where you surf like, hey, get out of here?
No, dude. No, I mean, Huntington, you can't really localize Huntington Beach, you know?
Right.
It's the surf city.
I just, in my world, I think of that. You ever see any sharks?
No, but a dolphin jumped over me the other day.
Wow.
That was crazy.
There's some sharks out there.
You know, we don't really see sharks too much, man. Or I haven't really personally seen one in the water at Huntington in a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. You always think you do. A dolphin comes up to you close, it's scary.
Yo, yeah. That's a big fucking fit. They don't look
fucking
big.
Lands
They're
on you,
huge.
Yo, man, it'll break your ribs, you know?
They're giant, man. Yeah. It's cold out there, right?
Yeah, it's nice today. It wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you ever eat it really bad surfing?
I mean, eating bad surfing, like you land in the water, so.
Yeah.
Compared to a motorcycle crash, it's usually pretty mellow, but.
I love the Mavericks.
I'm not into that. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, that's weird because you ride like wheelies at 100, but you won't ride a Maverick. But that's drowning.
I don't want to drown.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't, like I definitely have a fear of drowning. At least when you fall off a motorcycle, that you don't like get sucked into the asphalt.
Yeah, drowning is brutal, man.
Scary.
Like I remember,
scares the shit out of me.
I was in Hawaii, the pipeline, and they're like, "Yeah, don't go out there, man. It's got crazy undertow." And I was like, "Fuck that guy!" And I went out there, and I crashed, and I remember I was going like, "Whoa," and I was completely upside down. I'd hit sand. I was like thinking I was going to the top. But I wasn't. Now I had to turn around and head back. And man, when you feel like you're going to drown, there's nothing worse.
That's a horrible feeling, man.
That is, right?
It's a horrible feeling, yeah. Yeah.
What kind of celebrities get bikes built from you? You had Shaun White. Anybody else? Like, are guys coming around still?
You know, we got, I do stuff with Mickey.
Mickey Rourke. That's right.
Mickey a bike.
How'd that happen?
I just got a phone call out of the blue, man, from his guy, and then Mickey calls me, and then we ended up talking for a long time. But Mickey's a good guy, man.
He's one of my favorites.
Yeah,
Barfly, the wrestler, Diner.
He's epic, man.
Rumblefish,
Rumblefish,
Pope of Greenwich Village. Fucking great. What was the one where he's the devil? Or he's chasing the devil. Remember that one? With Robert De Niro plays Satan on that thing, man. It's I forgot what that's called. And then Lisa Bonet is his girlfriend. It's like a voodoo thing.
Yeah.
That's a good one, man. I forget what that's called. But he did some of the greatest movies. I mean, I love Barfly. Diner is spectacular. And then The Wrestler is amazing.
It was epic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's got some new stuff coming, too. I guess he's working on a... He's working on a rugby movie.
Oh, I know about that. He's playing the gay rugby guy. He's been working out for that for like a year.
Yeah, and I think we're going to build him 2 Triumphs for the movie. So
wow.
Maybe 2 or 3 bikes, because I guess the main character rides a bike.
Wow.
So
that's really cool.
Yeah, and apparently he rides really hard, and they have these bitchin' riding scenes like in, through the cliffs and stuff. So.
Well, he's kind of the part of that early 80s... The bike thing, in a Sunset Strip, you had Harleys, you had like Stallone, you had him, you had Motley Crue, Poison Guy. Everybody was riding those soft tails around Harley. Around Hollywood, it was the big Harley resurgence, But he's always still rode. That's pretty cool. What did he get built?
I built him.
You can see it on the website too, right?
Yeah, you can go on our website for sure, RolandSands.com, and just look up Mickey's bike. It's a crazy, single-sided swing arm. It's a radical looking bike, Something we were going to do really raw, and in the middle of it, he's just like, I want you to paint it white, metal flake.
Right.
I'm like,
now, when he came in, did he know what he wanted?
Yes and no, I was kind of like, well, what do you want me to build you? Do you want me to build you something low and lean and mean, or do you want more of a raced out style? And he's like, I want some with clip-ons, and I want a tail section. I want something totally.
He knew his shit.
Yeah. He knew my style of building, and he saw the stuff that I did. So we worked quite a bit. We worked together on the bike quite a bit to really get it going.
Right. And then when he picked it up, I saw the video. He looked pretty happy.
Yeah, he was stoked.
Yeah,
He was
that
stoked.
thing is nice, man. How long did it take to build?
That bike was, I think we built it. It was like a year.
Wow, a year.
Yeah, just because he wasn't in like a massive hurry for it. Now it's probably longer than that. It might have been 2 years.
Wow.
And it doesn't usually take us that long to build a bike, but he was very much like, oh, don't rush it. I want you to just make sure it's all right and everything. So,
Who else has come in? Like, how about Brad Pitt?
we did a bike for Brad.
You
a while
did?
ago, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what was it? A Harley style bike,
We
or
actually redid a bike for him. He had something that was a stock bike that he wanted to change.
Right.
So we modified it and we built a whole new body for it. And it was pretty cool.
That's
Nice.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see back there. Is that a Indian Larry frame over there? That twisted.
Yeah.
What is that? Tell me.
It's one of the original twisted down tube Larry frames.
One of the original.
One of the originals, and that's an original CFL out there too.
Wow.
Yeah.
And did you get that from Larry?
I'm trying to remember.
Are you gonna build
got
that?
it- I might have got it after Larry passed away.
From from the shop when it took out like Legacy or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That thing's cool. You gonna build it?
Maybe someday. I haven't really built any frame up choppers in a long time.
Yeah, the thing is, I was so into them for years, and then I got off it,
Yeah.
But now, to me, it seems like if you build some a really cool one, a classic one that's built to ride,
Yeah.
like mid controls and some cool something you can ride. There's something so unique about that. There's one guy riding one around Hollywood, that kid Justin Murdoch. He rides an Indian Larry one around, and he's been riding it for like 5 years. And same with Brad, he'll ride these bikes around, and you see him, and it's cool to see these bikes get rode and aged and everything. Like they start to look like a 60s chopper. You know?
The more you ride it,
Yeah, the more you ride.
Bikes get better with age. If it's a good bike, the bike will get better with age.
And you learn it with age. You learn how to ride a chopper, you know?
Yeah.
I love that El Baracho. That thing's great. You still make the parts that you can just clip on a stock Harley?
We make a lot of parts that go on stock Harleys.
So you can just take a stock Harley like a night train and you turn it into like a chopper, a rideable chopper.
Yeah, you can do a lot of different things. We build a lot of different... we make parts to build a lot of different bikes. So it just depends on how you put all those parts together to get what you want to get.
Right, yeah. But they're incredible. They look great. They're not plastic. They're not made in Tokyo or China or whatever, wherever.
Tokyo might not be that bad.
Tokyo would be good, yeah.
Yeah, you can get some stuff made in Tokyo.
Yeah.
No, the majority of our motorcycle parts are made here in the U.S.
And where do you make them? Here? Like at a warehouse somewhere?
Like right 15 minutes down the street.
Man.
Yeah.
And that's got to cost a lot of money to be in biz to make parts here in America, right?
Be a machine shop, you got to really have your shit together.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So what do you got coming up, man?
Man, traveling a little bit more, doing some more stuff with BMW, actually.
Yeah, what are you doing for
that
Beamer?
Concept 90 bike. Built this crazy cafe racer with BMW.
Right.
And then we're traveling around a little bit, maybe going over to England to do the Goodwood Revival, which is like a vintage road race.
Right.
Which would be really fun.
That's cool. What are you going to bring there?
What's that?
What would you bring there?
I think they'll probably bring the bike that we built and then ride a vintage BMW race bike. I hope so.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That should be a fun one.
Your life doesn't suck, right?
I get to have fun sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your whole life, man. You've been riding motorcycles. You're in the motorcycle business. It's great. You ever get bored of motorcycles? Like, fuck this.
Sometimes on the weekend, I'm just like, that's why I go surf or go to the beach or, go do things like that.
Yeah.
But then I'll want to like get on my bike and go ride, on the weekend.
True.
Just go ride somewhere cool and then come back. But,
Yeah, that's fucking cool, man. I'm glad you had me had me down here. Check out the new shop. What's the address here? Let people know.
10572. Yeah, Los Alamitos Boulevard.
Right.
In Los Alamitos, we're just like right off of Catella and the 605 freeway.
Killer building.
Yeah.
What did it used to be?
It was a trophy shop.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so. I mean, this would be a huge trophy shop, right?
Right? That's what I thought,
Fuck,
too.
man.
Yeah, I mean, well, you got manufacturing in the back
Yep.
and then office space up above and showroom in the front, so.
Like, can you imagine the office space of a trophy shop? Like, well, we got to make those Little League trophies.
Yeah, right.
Then we got the bowling ones. And don't forget about the, dart tournament.
Oh, we got the track meet coming up. We're going to have a lot of track meet trophies coming up. We got the long jump trophy and, all that shit.
Trophies are weird, right?
Dude, I would have a trophy shop. Let's make some trophies.
That's so fucking like 50s.
Yeah.
Trophy shop. That's a good band name.
Trophy shop.
Right? Roland Sands Designs Trophy Shop.
The trophy shop.
Well, man, thanks for having me down. Everybody, you got a Twitter or anything? You got one, right? Roland Sands Designs.
Yeah, I don't know what my handle is because I don't really use Twitter that much, but I'm on Instagram, Roland Sands, and Facebook, and Roland Sands Design and all that. So, yeah, come check it out. Our website's rolandsands.com, so you can go and check out all our gear, motorcycle parts, motorcycle builds, a little bit of everything. So, yep.
Yeah, man, this shit's phenomenal. It's my favorite. You've always been super cool to me, man. Unbelievable. Thanks for having me, and everybody check out his stuff and ride safe, man. There you go. Roland Sands. Thanks, guys.